Vegas Raiders taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, there's never a shortage of shows or sights and sounds throughout this city, but for the next few hours, all eyes are glued to Allegiant Stadium here in Las Vegas.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They can't be any better as we hit the halfway mark. A perfect 7-0 on the year.
And when we looked at this team in August and we looked at the schedule, we thought they had the potential to get off to a hot start. But I don't think either of us expected 7-0.
Taken at the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it in the middle of the schedule. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Now you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
You look at this Steeler defense.
They were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to be dropped quickly right there at the 48, a couple yards shy of midfield. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
Yeah, they only allowed 13 points, and you can poll all 32 coaches, and I guarantee you they'd say, we'll take that every single week. But let me think about that for a second. Maybe there'd be one contrarian that would say, give me 10.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Back to throw. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? Well, if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 22-yard line. Short throw there, caught by Thomas.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be second down.
That right there, career catch number 541, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, who also obviously played the tight end position.
Yeah, and helped revolutionize it when he was in San Diego. But how about what we're seeing right here? You're talking about 541 catches at the tight end position. You talk about lofty territory, rare air. He has a lot to be proud of in his career.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on third down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
Terrific. And now hold everything here as the challenge flag is out. And we're going to go. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. 5 yards from the end zone, first and goal.
They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
It looks like they quit hitting the snooze button on their alarm there. Finally a sign of life from this defense. They've been fairly passive on this opening drive. Now able to stand up on first and goal. And they sent that play backwards.
Second and goal from the 6 this time. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on second down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
A big play forthcoming. Here's third and goal. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be first and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, the plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
They'll try to run this one in. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown.
Tip Ryman.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Raiders are on the board first here this afternoon.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. That drive, a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And we get a glance at their leader in the huddle, the veteran, in his 9th season now in the league.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now a throw here, hauled in.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
The Steelers at 7-1 now on the year, and they've been cooking these last couple months. Winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And as much as we hate to play this game, you know I'm going to do it anyway. Extrapolate that over a full season. What does that come out to, partner? 14-2. And anyone in the NFL, they'd sign up for that record, that's for sure.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now Griffin on 2nd down. And this one is incomplete.
You look at this Raiders defense.
They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
I still crack up a little bit after we left our meeting with the defensive coordinator because I said to you, stop me if you've heard this before. How about him saying, well, first order of business, we got to stop the run. Of course you do. He's got a good unit, but facing the number 1 rushing team, they have to stop that in order to have a good performance.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive.
How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd down and 7.
Now it's Griffin. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
45 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Maynard. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9.
Now Griffin. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year.
And the Steelers are an extra point away from evening this one up.
That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game, their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. They'll keep it on the ground. McLean, and the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
In motion left goes a tight end. On 3rd down, McLean. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take him the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Up the middle they go. McLean. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. Now back to throw. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their 2nd offensive possession. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
And the slot man goes in motion left.
Now Griffin. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Second down and 8. Griffin. So we get a traffic there, and that's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
55 yards rushing for him now to this point. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Now it's Griffin. He finds his man, complete. That's Chambers. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Ford, and he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Play action. Now Griffin. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield. They're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
On 2nd down now, Maynard, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
He'll get this complete to the rookie from Washington. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half #1.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. On now is the field goal team here as the Raiders will try for 3. From the right hash, this from 48. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down.
Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright. And they're denied a chance at 3 points.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. The Falcons trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we head over to the Pacific Northwest, check on the Seahawks at home in Seattle. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. The Seahawks looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. The Ravens seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll throw on first down with Griffin. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. But he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2's not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get open downfield.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Maynard. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Maynard. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Consecutive runs of 6 yards gives him a 1st and 10.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, it can go for a touchdown. But the runs that really make it work are the ones where you just get what you need, right? And he barely got the first down, but he got it.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They'll motion the tight end across the formation. On 1st and 10, it's Griffin. He finds his man, complete. It's Guzman. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
From the 35, here's the 2nd down and 6. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll go down at the 28. 73 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Up the middle they go. Maynard. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
Here's a 2nd and 5. And they'll send the slot in motion left. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Here's Griffin to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 2nd and 5. They'll look to throw again. Short throw to the tight end Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Griffin. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Griffin. He finds his man, complete. It's Chambers, and he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. He's still in search of his first rushing touchdown of the year, but not on that play.
I just wonder if he has some frustration starting to build a little bit because he hasn't gotten into the end zone. Has to just stay calm, stay within himself, just let it happen.
And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're number 2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway? Or do you do the best thing and throw the darn thing and try and get in the end zone?
Maybe that's wiser. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Griffin. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Steelers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Here's the Steelers' kick team as they'll boot this one away. I couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead. You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a 2nd and 6. They'll drop to throw. His throw incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The offense on third down, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Back to throw again. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go play action. Griffin sliding out of the pocket. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
From the gun, it's Griffin. Throwing middle, and it's complete. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? On third down, Ford. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently second in the league in first downs, and they pick up one here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps their defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Play action. It's Griffin. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Griffin. He finds his man complete. It's Guzman. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On third down, Griffin. He finds his man, complete. That's Chambers. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 45 yards. And the Steelers are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this fourth quarter advantage. Well, I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. Sheds off the tackle. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And that unbeaten record very much in jeopardy. It's been a great first few months of the season so far, but they have run into a buzzsaw here, trailing big in the fourth quarter. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they've relished a chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Taken right around the 44. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Not a whole lot of room to maneuver there, and I think that's because everyone took care of their responsibilities, filled their gaps, held their place. No place for him to run.
Yeah, looked good. Everything got funneled to the nose tackle. They swallowed him up.
On 3rd down, they'll try and pick it up with a counter. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Pittsburgh, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they dropped to 7-1. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Las Vegas.